Hi everybody, it's Jerry from the Military Collectible Shop. Unfortunately, Mark's not able to join me, but that's okay, because for this episode, this is another on the road version of what's new at the Military Collectible Shop. And over the holiday break, I traditionally get some time off, so I travel the great state of Wisconsin, hitting all the antique stores, thrift stores, and other places and shops that I can find, because you never know what's going to turn up. I like the thrill of the hunt, and you get to see some really cool stuff too. I know a lot of people are down on antique stores and antique malls. You know, oh, they always have the same stuff, or the stuff is always so expensive. And quite honestly, they're not wrong. I've been into some very poorly run antique stores, stuff where some of the price tags are wishful thinking at best, outright robbery in some cases. But between all that, there are still some deals to be had. It just takes the time to look, like anything else. No one's going to jump out in front of you and say, hey, look what I got, this is a fantastic deal. And quite honestly, if they do, it's probably not something you're going to want. But I was able to find a smattering of stuff. No real super bell ringers, but a decent stuff. I got to see a lot of interesting things. That's also part of what I like looking at antique stores for. It's not just the military stuff, but just seeing what other kinds of things are out there. And especially if I run across something that I don't know what it is. Because it's always kind of fun to learn about some old, farm thing, or some kind of something that did something, or, they use these to, shave the little things off of an orange, or I don't know, whatever. It's always fun to learn. Keep on learning. Okay, so Jerry, what'd you find? I'm glad you asked. Probably one of the, I think it's neat. It's going to need a little bit of help, but it's a Red Cross women's uniform, complete with skirt. So that's nice, from American Red Cross Military Welfare Service. So very, typical small woman's size, but nice to find. Now, unfortunately, someone had added Air Force buttons to it. Not always uncommon to find stuff that's been modified, for wear. But still, I can fix that. This is why I always save buttons whenever I find loose buttons. Because parts is parts. And as many of you know, I do have a collection of World War II, mostly World War II, women's things. But I also do have some World War I and some Korean, Vietnam, and actually even some modern day stuff. Because I've put on several displays of my women's militaria related uniforms and things. Speaking more of women's, I was able to find a woman, or just a Marine Corps hat. Sorry, women Marines are just Marines, but they have women's hats. So, and this one's pretty big. Not quite big enough, but getting closer. Now this one's more modern, from all those letters, all those numbers. I think it's from the 80s, if I had to guess. But, a nice example of a woman Marine Corps hat. And always a good looking hat. Okay. I got a couple U.S. Army BDU field jackets. These are always great, and you can still, still find these at thrift stores. They're starting to turn up in antique stores now, but you can still find these. The woodland camouflage, this kind of greens and browns and blacks, excellent camouflage for Wisconsin. This is what Wisconsin looks like, except in the winter when it's all white. But this is, next to the green and gold, this is probably the most common color combination you're going to find in Wisconsin, next to blaze orange. But anytime I can find a decent, clean field jacket, you know, I'm going to get it, because even though we have racks of them, we sell a lot of them. This one's particularly nice because it also has the lining for extra warmth. And this particular one, he was a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne. So that was nice to find. Good condition. Also, a sort of the same thing only different, from the U.S. Navy, which is really kind of unusual. And this one is complete with, we've got the jacket, the lining, the shirt, another shirt, and then there are 2 pair of pants as well. So kind of a whole kit and caboodle, as it were. And unusual to find in Navy markings. Oh, that's one of my buttons. All right, since the buttons are revolting. Got a couple early State of Wisconsin buttons. Again, like I mentioned with the women's uniform, anytime I can find loose buttons, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, because I always lose buttons. And buttons just is one of those things that flies off a uniform. So when you have buttons, when you need a button, you know, it's good to have them. So these are the State of Wisconsin, you know, probably from around the World War I era. So just nice to find with the Great Seal of Wisconsin and Bucky Badger on there. So a couple coat buttons and a pocket button. Got a vintage Navy hat from the USS Carl Vinson. And I know one of our friends was on the Carl Vinson, and I don't remember who. And it's bugging me. So, you out there, let me know if you were on the Carl Vinson. Alright, got a 1973 Vietnam era dated plastic canteen. Again, no big shakes, but I've got a lot of covers, I've got cups, put it together, what do I got? A nice sellable canteen. So I will buy loose canteen parts all day long, so I can play Build-A-Bear and make some canteens from the era. This is kind of a cool thing. I was excited to find this. It's a patriotic, probably World War II era, patriotic wall display. And normally this would be some type of factory or business advertising in there. So what I'll probably do is I'm going to make up a little card for the military collectible shop and just put it in there, you know, Mark and Jerry Proprietors or something like that. But just nice, typical patriotic. It's got the little hanger on the back, you know, reverse painted on glass. It's just nice to find. This is really cool. It's a World War I canteen that's been trench artified with the, you know, kind of a diary of the battles and campaigns that he took part in. So World War 1914-1918, battle engagement, San Miguel, Meuse-Argonne, Mount Falcon, 1918, Troyon sector, Verdun, Grand Mortagne. I don't know. You know, and I've had ones where it's very artistically done, where there's you know, symbols, or like a 2nd Division one, or you know, just some neat. But this is still pretty cool. I was excited to find that. And again, you have to look, because when it's sitting up on a shelf, what does it look like? A mess kit. You got to take it down. You got to look at it. That's when the coolness appears. Strangely, I found a tagging gun. We use these in the shop for tagging the aforementioned clothing. So it was, we use these a lot. It was cheap. Hey, it's useful. All right, I bought it. Got a pair of U.S. signal officers collar insignia, the flags. Again, there's usually one missing, sometimes two. So nice, just nice to have a nice pair. All right, back to some Navy stuff. It's actually pretty cool. And unfortunately undated. I would guess probably 1960s from the construction, but a metal U.S. Navy marked mess tray. You know, so yeah, I always like Salisbury steak. Yeah. I don't know if they had that in the Navy, but that's what I got at St. Aloysius. All right, staying with the Navy theme, or no other reason than we have a Navy theme. I found actually my wife found a little sterling naval aviator, probably sterling and gold, aviator's bracelet with the wing on it. That was a real nice find. Got a Navy aircrew wing, also sterling, with 3 of the combat mission stars. A World War II pilot's wing, also in sterling. This is the 2-inch size that was worn on the shirts. Post World War II, but still very cool. Sterling Navy submarine dolphins. Kind of neat. A 1st Cavalry Zippo lighter, which is nice. Nice 1st Cav insignia on there. This is kind of a local thing. It's a factory worker badge from Moe Brothers in Fort Atkinson. Fort Atkinson is a city in Wisconsin. It's actually one of the cities where they made the vocational knives that I look for. And speaking of vocational knives, I was actually able to hunt down one of the ones. This is the knives that I collect these personally. You know, with having the shop, I can't collect every single knife that comes in here, so I decided to focus only on the Wisconsin-made ones that were made at the various vocational schools. Now, we had vocational schools in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, Janesville, Wisconsin, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, technically Milwaukee, although I don't believe they made any knives in Milwaukee. But I found knives from Fond du Lac and from Fort Atkinson, and I found reference to them being made in Janesville, Wisconsin, although I've never seen a Janesville knife yet. But this one was made in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and these were made out of leaf springs, so honestly, kind of crummy metal in terms of, you know, the steel guys. But, you know, they made these up for the soldiers, and they would give them to them free. What's kind of fun about this one is that the scabbard, and it's a little bit of an unusual scabbard, not the typical scabbard that you see with these, but he marked it as the Damn Democrat knife. And the reason he did that is because the grip actually has 2 different colors wood that was used on it, a lighter wood and a darker wood. And according to the little piece of paper that was with it, and I got his dog tags too, he called it a Damn Democrat knife because the handle was two-faced, just like the Damn Democrats. Now, I'm neither confirming nor denying, because we try to stay apolitical here at the Military Collectible Shop. We embrace all. As long as you've got money, you're welcome in our store. No, we've kicked out some annoying people. That's another story. But again, I was real happy. It's kind of fun with the extra story. Nice example. It actually has the guy's name engraved on it. In Vocational School, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And this one is a little unusual in that the cross guard isn't your typical cross guard that you see on these. This one almost looks like it was made from a ladle or some other type of handle and some type of I don't know, spoon or something. But otherwise very typical of the Fond du Lac Vocational School knives. Oh, and one other thing. I managed to find a bomb. So it's a nice practice bomb. Now this particular one isn't World War II. I don't see if I could probably read the markings on it. It's probably dated in there somewhere. But I was able to find that, and you know, we sell a lot of these, so I was happy to find it when I could. Again, in our travels. So again, you know, if you get a chance to get out, hit the antique stores, take the time to look through, you know, look under things. Don't just walk past the booths, go in the booths, look down low, look up high. That's where the stuff is. You know, if nobody's going to put something right out there to hit you in the head, you know, and hey, here's a German helmet for $100. You know, because the antique stores get a lot of traffic. So You know, chances are anything obvious is going to be found, which is why you should shop often, because also at antique stores, people put new stuff out every day. People who complain, oh, it's just the same stuff. They don't actually see all the stuff that sells, you know, because antique stores will sell a lot of stuff. Not everything, but they'll actually go through a bunch of it. So the new stuff was there, you just missed it. So another avenue to try to find stuff. And again, no big, great shakes. I mean, am I going to put this tray out at the show of shows in a nice glass display case? No. But am I going to find a Navy guy who's really going to appreciate it because he used to eat his, corn chip beef on toast on a tray like that? Yes. And it'll make somebody happy. So, always very cool, and a couple things from my own collection. You know, so it's always cool to get out and about and see, you know, what's out there. So, until next time, hopefully Mark will be back soon. We do have more videos in the works. If he's not able to do one of these, I will. I got a couple unboxings because people have been sending us stuff. So I got a couple unboxings that need to happen. So maybe we'll do those next. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. A very Merry Christmas. I wish all of you a Happy New Year. Thanks for being part of the Military Collectible Shop family. Until next time, I'm Jerry, and you are on the road with the Military Collectible Shop. Stay safe, everybody. I'm back. I almost forgot. Actually, I did forget, but I remembered. So, one of the other things I also always look for when I'm out and about hunting are military pictures, wartime pictures. So I was actually able to find some kind of interesting ones. Got a nice Navy guy who is a corpsman, World War II. I found some German ones. These are actually some German railway working women, German women working on the Reichsbahn. A group of Germans hanging out together. This one had a nice picture of the diplomat dagger, or government official. Another early, I believe, German with a sword and a knot. This is just a nice patriotic one of a woman standing in front of her house with the early American flag. This one is kind of unusual. World War I guy with kind of a funny hat. And another World War II guy with wearing the shearling flight outfit. And I got a picture of a little kid in a military costume. Again, probably World War II period, you know, sort of thing. And then a World War I, nice framed picture of a World War I officer. And then the coup de grace was a picture of a group of Red Cross women, World War I, carrying their banner in a parade. But what, this is unbelievable, because this group of women, actually, I had another photo of them that I used in my book on the history of the United States service flags. Okay, if you don't have a copy of my book, get a copy of my book. Great history on the U.S. Blue Star flags, the Gold Star flags, and a lot of the other flags in between, you know, that represented service members. So, but this is from the Borden's Dairy Company, and it's a Red Cross flag. And this same exact flag, and even the same banner, appears in this photograph of the parade. Now again, this picture I just bought up in northern Wisconsin. The other picture that I used in my book actually walked in to our old shop probably about 5 years ago. So the odds of finding two pictures of the same group of such an obscure service flag is almost astronomical. So I was just tickled to find this one. This one's actually annotated on the back, New London, Wisconsin, so we know where this one's from. And they talk about the different buildings that appear in the shot as well. So that was just so cool. And this booth was 50% off. So not only was it awesome, it was cheap, which makes things even better. So again, really unusual. So happy to have that one. Tickled to find it. Okay, I think that is really going to be it for now. So, thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. We do appreciate every one of you. We appreciate all your comments, even you haters who continually hate us. I don't know why you keep watching us. There are plenty of cat videos.
Where's Kenneth?
Wait up, guys, I'm coming!
Go watch a funny cat video. Lot more entertaining. Life is too short to put up with crap. So if you don't like us, go somewhere else, because this is what we do. We keep trying to get better, but this is kind of what we are. All right. Thank you again. Keep the comments coming. Keep the emails coming. Visit the website. See us on Facebook. Do all that fun stuff. And we'll hope to see you at a show really soon. Until next time, I'm Jerry, and this is the Military Collectibles Shop.